everyone, and welcome back to One Movie Too Many, Episode 2. And the movies that we watched were It, Part 1, and Clownado, both which can be found on Amazon Prime if you want to endorse a evil corporation with a semi-decent video viewing platform. I am your host, Zach, and we have Mike with us today.
Semi-decent? That's giving him a little too much credit.
That's good. And we also have Hal.
I'm just clowning around.
Just clowning around, dude.
Yeah, we watched Clownado and It. The running theme for both is clowns.
Yep.
Spooky clowns.
Do you even, Mike, remember Clownado?
There was just a lot. I would have to say so far, Clownado is the worst movie we've watched so far.
Yes.
I mean, granted, we're only 4 movies into this right now, but still.
So,
Clownado.
So the general plot of Clownado, for anyone wondering, is that this lady, she is married to some sort of circus ringleader.
Yes.
Some, alpha clown.
Alpha clown
Anyway,
master.
She cheats on him and plans to steal his clown fortune with her,
the private detective boyfriend.
Yes.
That she's been cheating on the clown master.
Was he a private detective?
It doesn't matter. Anyway,
It's what it seemed like.
It does not
It
matter.
just seemed like he was just like some
It
janitor or something.
Because
It does not
he's
matter.
killed within the first 5 minutes. Oh, spoilers, by the way.
Alpha Clown
everything.
finds out that she's cheating and he kills the boyfriend character, right?
Basically.
To get back at the Alpha Clown, the girlfriend of the Alpha Clown goes to some sort of witch.
Yep.
That's part of the circus.
Do you know the girlfriend's name of the Alpha Clown? Do you remember the name?
The girlfriend goes to the witch.
No. Take a random stab in the dark.
Jennifer?
Nope, it's Savannah, by the way.
Right, it was Savannah.
You can't even... do you know the Alpha Clown's name?
Listen, you're asking way too many hard questions here.
Listen, do you remember... I remember the clown's name.
What was it?
Ronnie.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, it was.
I want to point out we watched this movie just a few hours ago.
It's so forgettable.
Anyway, hold up. Goes to the witch
Right.
to try and get vengeance on Ronnie.
Do you remember the witch's name?
No.
Autumn.
Oh, it was.
You guys suck. You
Listen,
guys
the
suck at
only
this.
person's name I remember is
Black Elvis.
Black Elf.
no, not that. I was the one Satchel. That's what her name was.
I remember. Yes, I remember Satchel too.
Okay, so
Anyway,
witch.
The only reason I remember it because it's a shitty name.
Alpha Clown and his clown posse, whether or not they are insane or not, is killed by the witch's vengeance in the form of a tornado. But the ghosts,
Which just suffocates them, I guess.
they die.
They're sent to
they
purgatory or something. It's
Die in a hell tornado, and then they're now a living embodiment tornado of clowns.
and evil.
And then the main protagonist character, his name was
Hunter.
like Hunter Hunter
Jesus.
Doghouse or something like that.
Hunter
Yeah,
Doghouse.
Yeah.
Whatever.
He
Who
picks
cares?
up Black Elvis on the side of the road. They go on adventures together. They pick up a stripper. Bambi.
Yep.
They end up in a diner with
A bunch of JoJo characters.
Rachel, I think, is the teenager's name. Because there's
there's
a whole bunch of...
teenager running from a creep that's following her, so she takes shelter in this diner with Hunter and his growing Left 4 Dead crew. There also is Savannah, who is also on the run from
Ronnie. And his goons.
She assumes he's... No, she assumes
Yeah, she assumes he's dead.
Okay.
And it's like, alright, I'm gonna go live my best life now.
After all of these independent actors I use the term loosely, independent agents are acting, they all coalesce to the diner, which then...
It comes under siege from the Clownado.
Yeah.
Of Ronnie and his posse.
Also, I just want to point out that, apparently, they just appear in a tornado, but, they can also... There's just, another tornado that's in the area that is part of them, I guess.
So
they go to the diner.
Yeah, so
They stand outside the diner menacingly.
Yes.
The clowns, which are Ronnie, the main clown, the dude who looks like he's from Insane Clown Posse.
Insane Clown. All right.
Insane Clown Posse, Glasses Clown, and
Satchel.
Then Satchel, who I'm pretty sure she only has a name because she made like someone's face into a bag.
Probably.
Yes.
Anyway, a bunch of people in the diner die.
Yeah, they die. A whole bunch of them die.
Satchel shows her boobs.
A whole bunch.
It's not
Bambi
a bunch. There could
showed
be
her
more.
boobs.
Bambi gets
times.
killed.
Savannah. No, she doesn't. Bambi lives the entire time.
Talking about Savannah. I don't know why I can't.
Savannah.
Savannah gets killed.
Anyway,
Also,
Savannah just
a lot
dies.
of boobs in this movie.
Savannah just dies, right? She just dies in the dino.
Yeah.
And then Hunter
unceremoniously.
And his party head off to escape the Clownado.
And then they meet up with storm chasers.
2 storm chasers, and they talk to the storm chasers, and they're like, "Whoa, this tornado's crazy. It's full of clowns," and they fight the clowns. Then storm chaser, crackhead Jason Momoa.
Crackhead Jason Momoa.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
He's like, we can get a tube of liquid nitrogen, and if we throw it in a tornado, it will destroy the tornado.
Which...
Sure. And then at the same time, Savannah is dead, but she comes back to life?
Yes, because Ronnie summons the power of lightning into her, and before he does that, he replaces her heart with an ice cube.
Yeah.
Which is like, because she was a frigid, cold bitch or whatever, because she's cheating on him or whatever.
But anyway, Ronnie, I guess, brings her back to life and then leaves, and then she wakes up and puts some forks and knives into a chopped off hand, so she has a knife hand. She has
a multi-tool hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she goes pretend to be a stripper or a hooker on the corner, and then a lady on a Mustang pulls up, and then she kills her.
Oh yeah, she kills the lady for no reason.
Yeah, she dies.
And then takes the car.
Also, and then later, the storm chasers and Hunter and that group, right?
Right.
Glasses Clown shows up and they just shoot him with a gun,
and
which
he
apparently
dies.
works.
Yeah.
They only shot that gun one time.
No, it was
they shot it once.
Twice?
No, once.
I'm telling you, they shot it.
Well, that's the end of the movie that I'm thinking of.
We'll get to that.
Shoot Glasses Clown, right? And he just falls off and he apparently dies, but then he just comes back. So I guess the clowns are immortal, but then Savannah with her knife hand stabs Satchel, and she dies, and then a midget clown comes out of her.
Yeah,
and then Ronnie snaps Savannah's head and kills her.
But then she comes back.
Yeah.
But for some reason, Satchel never comes back. She just she's just replaced by Little
She probably
Person.
just had stuff to do that day.
They just couldn't film with her.
Right.
So, yeah, maybe.
I was like, man, I've shown my tits enough in this movie. I'm kind of done.
Yeah, I've had enough. Also, you completely forgot about Rachel's dad, who was the creep that was following Rachel around. Turns out not a pedophile, but actually the teenager's dad that dies amidst a bloodbath of it was like the mid-act of the movie.
Right.
There was just Clownado was going, sicko mode on this small little town in the middle of bumfuck nowhere.
By the way, it's not a Clownado. It's just a bunch of people just being clowns, not like an actual tornado.
Well, they're summoned by a tornado.
Yeah, they inhabit the tornado.
I guess, but the tornado's still over there, like a county away, just tearing shit up, just being a tornado.
I don't think that's true.
No, it was.
I think you're not remembering it right. I think...
Anyway, they get the tube of liquid nitrogen, and they make their way to an airport where they find one of Hunter's friends who's like, yeah, I fly a plane.
I flew through hurricanes.
They fly the plane over the tornado, they drop it in, tornado dies. And then at the end of the movie, they're leaving the hangar, and then Ronnie shows up, and he's like, I'm back, I'm still here. But then Savannah shows up with a gun and just shoots him in the head, and then the movie's over.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Whoa, what would I do with you humans? I got a circus to run."
Did she say that?
She said something along those lines.
I don't remember the ending at all. I just remember when Savannah shoots Ronnie, and the worst possible way to do a special effect was done, where a CGI pop of his head shoots CGI confetti, and it looks
some of the effects
horrendous.
in this movie are not that bad.
Some of the gore and viscera practical effects actually kind of cool and pretty cool.
Also,
a little bit.
I'm gonna give them props. They shot a lot at night.
Yeah,
and you could see everything that was going on.
Yeah. That's
harder to do than you would think.
I saw Game of Thrones.
There was one scene that was shot during the day and then shifted to darkened and blued to be like it's night, and you're right, but that was the plane landing,
and it wasn't even that noticeable. I mean, other than all of these,
there's a CGI airport too.
Yeah, the CGI airport that was built in Unity was really awful
but
and
then they
unnecessary.
also had shots of the normal airport. I'm guessing the reason they did that is the shot they wanted to have the airport from above. They could not get the drone permit for.
Yeah.
So they just were like
the landing. They just did the landing or the.
No, I think the landing
footage.
may have been stock footage.
Okay.
They did have.
It didn't take place at the airport.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just out in the middle of the woods somewhere, and then they're just at an airport.
Also,
I just want to be fair. I was the only one to notice the Unity.
That's not true.
No,
that's not true.
It was.
I also
No.
I fucking hate you.
No, I was like, ooh, and both of you were like, what? What's wrong with you? And I'm like, it's a CGI airport. And it cuts to the next scene. I was like, oh, no, you're not. That's real.
To be fair, the scene
You were
lasted...
arguing with Hal.
I was arguing with both of you.
No, you were not.
Also, to be fair, the scene lasted for
gaslit.
2 seconds and could have just been removed from the movie.
Yeah, it didn't need to exist.
Yeah.
There were many things in this movie that didn't need to exist. Let's talk about shot comp
So
for
they
a second.
discovered roll. Well, Dutch angles.
What?
Is it a Dutch angle?
I don't fucking know. Whatever the composition of the shot was, literally in every single scene was horrendous.
Well,
it was either too close or shot at
There's nothing shot too
it's
far
like
away.
who the fucking
too close.
Everything was way too fucking close. And at a weird down tilt angle. It's like a Smurf was the cameraman.
It wasn't a down tilt angle.
It was an upward angle.
It was an upward angle.
There's a mix of those.
They would have a lot of cuts to things and then roll the lens into it, so it would start at 45 degrees and then roll into the scene. Boom.
It's like
Clown.
The person that was filming was the size of a Smurf and doing a whole bunch of action man rolls while filming. I'm like, what is happening? It's so jarring and disjointed and just chaotic.
One is fine, but it was like they would cut to clown, roll, cut to the other clown, roll, cut to the main actor, roll.
Stop. Just have a normal scene where people are taught, and even in the diner, honestly, it's just so much of this movie's so forgettable.
The biggest part where it's really noticeable, super noticeable, is when they exit the strip club, and then you have the wide shot of all three of them standing there, and then just hard cuts to
the faces.
In their faces.
Yeah, and then it's not a good. A lot of these people don't look bad. They're slightly above average looking for the most part. I mean, that's fine. Whatever. Who cares, right? It's just the angles that they shot some of these people in were just so unflattering. I'm like, ugh. What the hell?
If anyone shot that close up, it doesn't look good.
Yeah, exactly. You could, right. It doesn't even matter, you could be a Greek god, and if you're shot at the angles that this movie was shot in, you're going to look, not pretty, not looking good.
So it was filmed in Mississippi, so I'm surprised people were not sweatier than...
Oh, they were very sweaty in the beginning.
I was expecting them to be sweatier.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
It's just, man, I'm trying to. So we lost track of why they wanted the liquid nitrogen for a while, and then I was like, I mean, we did.
You did.
I mean,
I did.
We did.
Whatever.
You also didn't know. You were calling it a future tube, just like the rest of us.
I didn't call it.
I thought they called. No, you did it.
Yeah.
You called it the future tube, but I thought they called it a future tube in the movie, but apparently they did not.
They did not. It's not a future
that's
tube.
Trade mode.
That's
future tube.
Future tubes. Oh, dude.
But yeah, I mean, it seemed like it was probably fun to film. There's definitely low budget.
It was low budget. I mean, there were some good bits of acting on the Left 4 Dead crew part.
Yeah.
I
would like to listen.
It
a
seemed
Left
like
4
it was
Dead,
made
a Left 4 Dead
lovingly.
crew of Cowboy Man,
Black Elvis, teenager, and stripper.
I'd
That's
play
so
that.
cool. Yeah, that's a good video game.
Listen, mottos. Give me a modded campaign of Left 4 Dead with that crew.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm just saying, Ronnie, He put a lot of effort into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he tried. I feel like there were just like little bits of what he was trying to do shining through like every
other scene.
Every other scene, I'm like, oh, that would be great if he just could do. I'm like, we're not actors, right?
Yeah.
But I could tell as a layman that he's trying. He's trying really hard, and there's some times where it's like, okay, cool, this was kind of good, you know, and then other parts I'm like, ooh, this is like
you hammed it up, Lonnie.
Yeah,
it's down a little bit.
Yeah, it's like ×3 ham.
Honestly, like most of the acting, I was like, at no point was I like, wow, atrocious. It was like, it
was pretty good. Yeah,
it's passable.
Yeah, it's not like
it's all a little over the top. And
Rachel's acting was pretty good, actually.
The child,
teenager.
Right.
By the way, what happened to her at the end?
Yeah, she's fine.
Because I want to just point out that
they all got on the truck and they left.
She stayed in the airport.
Yeah.
While they went up in the plane to bomb the tornado
with the liquid nitrogen.
Which, by the way, that plane also had like a carrier specifically designed to drop stuff. But anyway,
I also want to point out they did film in an airport.
Yeah.
At like I think it looked like a Civil Air Patrol museum, which was it's a good enough place to film.
Yeah, it seemed
the sets weren't bad.
The sets weren't bad. The practical effects for the gore weren't horrible.
There's a little too much blood in some things, but a lot of blood fountains.
It was comical at some points. I'm like, I'm not sure what the tone of the movie is. Like, if it's supposed to be satirical or ironic, or if it's like a genuine effort being made. And
I felt like there was a genuine effort being made.
Yeah, I think it's like a small town helped make this.
Oh yeah, small town absolutely made that movie because like you
got
cool. Flo, or sorry, not Flo.
I don't understand that joke.
I'm assuming
my name isn't Flo, bitch. I think that's like a
inside joke, probably.
Because at one point in the movie, they're like, "Flo, throw me the keys," and she's like, "My name's not Flo, bitch," and you're like,
"What?
What?" And then she says it again
when she dies.
Yeah, when she dies.
Those are her last words.
My name's not Flo, bitch, and you're like, "I missed the setup."
I guess we missed the setup. You know,
or it could just be an inside joke.
Maybe it was an inside joke.
Man, so It.
It.
Spooky Clown.
Spooky Clown
is terrorizing a town.
Yep.
Mostly children. Are being terrorized.
Right.
Kids are disappearing.
Right.
The main group of friends call themselves the Losers Club.
Yeah, because they're misfits.
They're misfits. They get bullied by
everybody.
The bully group, right?
Man, those bullies are fucking extreme.
Yeah,
I mean, the 80s, dude.
Yeah, 80s. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess it's just boys being boys, huh?
Yeah, boys being boys. You know.
Anyway, they form their group and they all realize they're being terrorized by the same thing, the clown, and then they go into the sewer to fight the clown. Clown gets the bully on his side when he realizes that he's going to be up against a group of people, which his powers don't work in groups.
Right.
It's mostly about isolating people and
making them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just the horror movie monster dynamic is isolating the group and targeting the individual.
And then they fight the clown, and I mean it's pretty simple.
Yeah, I will say though, like most movies usually depend on jump scares. At least like nowadays, like they
absolutely.
they like heavily lean on the jump scares. Like this movie did not have that many jump scares.
There's still some.
There was like some.
I mean, the normal formula for the scenes were like spooky thing. Spooky thing does a spookier thing. Oh, spooky thing's doing spook stuff. Oh, spooky stuff stopped. Big spook.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a pretty well-financed film, so...
It was like $35 million budget.
I mean, comparatively to Clownado, which we didn't even look up the budget of, which I imagine was not much.
Yes, I
because,
I'll get on that.
So, while we're doing the research, it's a pretty decently financed film. It had a lot of... Bill Skarsgård was the monster?
Yes.
He did a great job.
Oh, yeah.
He did a real good job.
This is my second time watching it, part one, and every single moment where I got goosebumps the first time I watched it, I got goosebumps the second time.
That thing where he does with his eye where it goes lazy,
yeah.
He could just do that.
Yeah, he just does that. That's
not special. He just does that.
Yeah, that's not special effects. He has that much control over his body. What you got for
Okay, budget? So the budget for Clownado was $2 million.
I mean, I guess it's on Amazon.
Yeah,
you know,
must be making some money.
And you know, hey, $2 million is nothing to shy at.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space also had a $2 million budget.
I like Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space is probably a better movie than Clownado, and that's really hard for me to say because
Clownado's bad, or Killer Clowns from Outer Space,
real bad. It's come on, don't even
listen. It's bad, but it is funny. Anyway,
It Part 1 is actually pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like most of the jokes.
They land pretty good.
I think the jokes are better than the scares.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Kid actors did great.
Yeah.
This is like the age of kid actors, you know, with Stranger Things and It Part 1 and a few other things I can't remember.
Yeah, there was a lot of like it did the funny stuff really well, and I would say it did like the uncomfortable stuff really well as well.
Oh yeah, the very uncomfortable.
Because each of the kids has their own fear, and a lot of it is either related to growing up, being abused in some way, either subtly or not so subtly, or past trauma,
Yeah. CGI was also really good in this as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I was
like some parts. It's like, was that CGI? Was that a practical effect, or like, I don't know. Sometimes I just had like that. It was just kind of hard to tell what it was.
Yeah,
which is pretty good.
Camera work's also pretty good. I always liked that tracking headshot of Pennywise doing his little dance.
His little dance near the end.
Where his head is staying still in frame, but the frame is jostling because it's Rockstein.
It looks a little silly.
It looks silly, but also
it's unnerving.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of his whole jam. Is it's silly but unnerving.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's more unnerving. The movie's really good at unnerving, but not. I would say it's not as good as being scary.
Yeah. I think it's Glasses Kid. I think the reason he shows up as a clown is because Glasses Kid.
He is.
Because they're like, "What are you afraid of?" And he just looks to the stage and there's a clown. So it's like, I guess it's a clown because of him.
I think it could be maybe
because of the circus. You know.
Yeah, it could. I feel like a lot of people are afraid of clowns, though.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. Is I think especially kids are afraid of clowns because you either love clowns or you hate them as a kid,
or you just don't care about them.
I mean, to me, when I was growing up, I mean, we're all still kind of young, but back in my day in elementary school and middle school, there were two camps. It was hate clowns, don't hate clowns. Like they actually like clowns and think clowns are cool and fun and loving and whatever. Which I know might be scary or weird.
I don't know if there's a lot of people that like clowns or people that are okay with clowns.
Yeah, it's like it's fine if you exist.
It's fine if you exist. Yeah, well,
listen, you don't see people being like, "Gotta take down Ronald McDonald."
I mean,
there's no one who's like, "Man, you know what I want to do this weekend? Let's go see a clown."
Let's go see a clown. Well, you only really see clowns at rodeos and circuses, right? You don't go
kind of
birthday parties, I guess. Yeah, I feel like that's just like a stereotype from the 80s or 90s.
Maybe. I mean, I've never had a clown at my birthday party. I've never seen someone with a clown at the birthday party.
Same.
Yeah.
Do clowns even really exist? Have we ever seen one?
Now, here's a question. Like, what degree do you have to get to the point where it's like, all right, you're a clown? Like, you get someone that like folds the balloons, right, and has like the red dot on their nose and like the dimple things, right? Is that a clown?
It's tier 1 clown.
That's a tier 1. Okay.
Tier 1 clown.
Okay.
So
slowly upgrades.
Ronnie is for sure like tier 4. Okay, tier 4 clown.
Well, he's an alpha clown.
Yeah, he's the alpha clown.
He's the alpha.
So Pennywise. Just face makeup, right? He doesn't have the squeaky nose.
He doesn't have the squeaky nose, but he still has like the puffy.
The clown uniform.
That's
clown
like
uniform.
Period piece clown.
It was all set in the 80s though.
Yeah, I mean I know what he means. He means like ancient clown.
Yeah, this is ancient.
Great old one clown.
Elder clown. I would call Pennywise like tier 3 clown. Tier 2 maybe at the lowest.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying.
Are mimes? I think they're almost clowns.
I think they're an offshoot of the clown, like
lineage.
Yeah,
lineage.
Like you got the genetic tree of the clown, right?
Right. I'm looking.
You got the tree of life, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And like over here, you got the mimes. It's like say it's like
the third same tree, different branch.
Yeah, it's like between like the third and the fourth branch, but it's like kind of grown off extremely, so it's like it's its own tree now.
Your Quiploth of clowns, if you will.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. It was so refreshing after watching Clownado and then watching part 1 and it's
watching
like,
a good movie.
Yeah, I was just like, man, these cameramen and this director knows how to frame a shot. It's insane.
Man, just wait until we watch Transformers last night.
I don't want to.
Because man, that's all over the place.
Listen, that's a spoiler.
Oh man, spoilers.
Right.
You got a little bit of a taste for what's going to come.
That's not until episode 4, Mike.
That's true.
Oh man,
I think.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
No. We may be recording these out of order.
Don't shut up.
You're
ruining the Tarantino magic.
Yeah.
Sure, why not? Isn't Tarantino's whole thing is that he goes like out of order though?
Yeah. That's the joke.
That was the point of what I said. How much hard cider have you had?
Listen, you're about as funny as Clownado.
That movie, it was just so boring. It was like
painful. There was
painful.
like two jokes in there that was like, okay, that was kind of.
It was one of the things that if I was watching alone, I would turn it off. But since I'm watching with a group of people and we can,
I tried my best. We made it entertaining.
Yeah,
but like towards the end, there was just like I'll be honest, I kind of zoned out at parts. And I just like start turning into what you guys are saying. It's like, what's going on? What?
Yeah, what are you watching? It Chapter 2. Boom.
It's just so hard to even talk about. Like, I'm trying to find things to say about Clownado.
Yeah.
You see Satchel's boobs.
Yeah, I mean, we already
and they turn into monsters.
She has
that's another thing, is that the undead poltergeist clowns of Clownado also turned into things.
Yeah, there's like scenes where they go to punch him in the stomach and the stomach opens up like the thing grabs their hand and they're like, oh.
Starts eating it.
Also, and they just kind of like team up on the short person clown there at the end and just rip his head off and it's why didn't you just...
Also, he was just rolling around on an electric cooler
cart.
Also,
thing.
I want to point out that he brought that up the stairs and then had to go back downstairs with it.
There was probably an elevator in that parking garage they were filming. Yeah,
you can't do that indoors.
I mean, they can do what they want.
Are you sure about that?
The Clownado travels as it
sometimes
pleases.
They die, sometimes they don't. Really, death is elective.
Death is elective. Just like art.
But, yeah, I mean, again, Clownado's not the worst movie I've ever seen.
I would like to say it's the worst movie I've seen so far, and based on the list of episodes we have coming out, I imagine that we'll be seeing worse and worse.
I'm just saying, there's been a movie that you vetoed from my list.
Which one was it?
Did I?
Robot in the Family?
Oh, yeah.
Where you're just like, no,
we're
not watching
that.
No, yeah.
Yeah. Listen, we got Shark Express coming up at some point. That's going to be rough.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for Theodore the T-Rex. Theodore Rex. I was like, I want to die. I don't even want to see the movie. But, freaking it. Positives. Other than...
Good child actors. Pretty good story.
Yeah, pretty good story.
I would say even if you're not into horror films, like I'm not into horror films really that much because I'm a bitch when it comes to jump scares, right?
Right. I mean,
but,
that's how that works, though.
Yeah.
It's not your fault. It's the intended effect.
Yeah, but still. But anyway, still it's recommended even if you're not into horror films.
Yeah. Part 2.
Not
the... No. It's
you
guys,
a letdown. Hey, you know all these kid actors that are pretty endearing? What if we would just replace them with, like, A-listers? Well, like, B-listers. Whatever.
Well, like, C-list.
Anyway, what if we just replace them with, like, popular actors? And you're like, okay, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
And then it's like...
I mean, at least the casting choices have been good.
Oh, yeah, casting was good. Casting was fine. But, like, I don't know. It's like, hey, you know that stuff that happened in it... Part 1 that seems relatively resolved, right? You know, the face of fears growing up to become functioning adults. It's, it's a good allegory. Nah. Anyway, they're going back. Also, turns out it has been there since the Native American times. The Native Americans knew of it. They tried to fight it with a jar.
Jar.
like a magic jar.
It's a magic jar box.
So like Dragon Ball Z, right? You know, they try to like evil containment wave into the jar.
And then they die, or whatever.
I figured you would have at least gotten that reference.
And they're like,
no.
to do the ritual, we need a bunch of things from our past that are, important to us. And
Yeah, it's like a cool anchor.
And they're like, hey, look, here's this clubhouse we built off screen at some point. Never happened in Chapter 1, but here's a clubhouse that exists.
I don't know. I think a flashback was, which they did, would be, some of the flashbacks were fine.
Some, but then here's the thing, it's like, oh, here's this thing from our childhood. It was this, and you're like, I don't remember that from Chapter 1, but okay. Right? And they all go to the ritual, and they're like, actually, the ritual didn't work in the Indian times. You never told us about that, Mike. It didn't work. It's like, yeah, because you need to believe that it works, right? And you're like, okay. It seems like it's kind of just rehashing the whole point of Chapter 1.
Would you say Part 2 is better than Clownado?
Yeah, but...
Yeah. It is...
Here's the thing.
Right.
Is it, on a technical level, better than Clownado?
I mean,
yes.
Everything that is produced and
Right.
watched in theaters and not direct to Amazon Prime.
But the difference is, at least Clownado was like a new idea.
Yeah.
Right?
Kinda. I think...
Clown Tornado, right?
I think they were trying to capitalize on the Sharknado phase
Oh yeah, they were, but...
Yeah, but like...
Too bad it's good.
But like,
movies.
Chapter 2 is literally pointless.
Yeah. Well,
if Chapter 2 never existed, there would be no difference.
Yeah, I guess they were just... Again, they want to cash in on the it craze, the clown craze.
Yeah, with all the clowns just standing around in the public.
Do you remember the killer clown pranks that were super popular? Like even a year, like a year.
It wasn't a year ago. It was like 2 or 3 years ago.
2 years ago? I don't know. I'm old. I can't remember shit.
Yeah, just a bunch of clowns would just stand around in public places.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People were scared of them.
Fools. Anyway, but yeah, Chapter 2 is pointless. It just doesn't need to exist.
I'll agree with that.
I'm not saying Clownado needs to exist, but
I mean,
it at least has something new.
It tries.
It has Black Elvis.
At least like a lot of people seem like they're having fun.
Yeah.
Right. They seem like they're having fun. There's some lines that are delivered, or even some actors that say some things and they smile afterwards. Like there were, the female storm chaser. I don't remember her name because
they really didn't like mention her name at all.
Yeah, I don't. Or crackhead Jason Momoa. I don't remember his name either.
Dialect guy.
Yeah, he has a Doctor Who shirt, which is that's cool.
Which is pretty cool. They I don't know. They both seem like they had fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like with the credits, they got like all the blooper reels, and like it looks like everyone's having a good time. And then there's the one blooper where it's just Satchel just like groping herself, and it's like, okay.
Yeah. Also, that makes a great point. Satchel groped herself for way too long. I'm like, is this softcore porn?
Oh yeah, I remember there at the very beginning, it was like, we're gonna watch softcore porn. Is this it?
I was like, did I accidentally...
That's any, like, exploitation movie.
Yeah.
Where it's like, spooky horror, look, titties. And you're like, cool.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It just... What I really liked about Clownado is it was just... There were a lot of different body types and representation. It was kind of pretty progressive in that way. Like, It seemed like it was... I don't know. Why Black Elvis, though? Like, what's his story? None of that made sense.
There's probably, like, a background joke with that, I'd imagine.
I mean, I don't know.
It's like, is this man... Like, does he actually do Elvis impressions in Mississippi? And they like, oh, everyone knows Black Elvis.
Put him in a movie.
Let's put him in a movie.
I don't know.
His Elvis impression's okay. And... You said it wasn't that hot, or you were expecting people to be, like, way more sweaty in Mississippi. They were... You don't remember the beginning of this movie. They were really fucking sweaty.
They were really sweaty.
Elvis's wig was kind of, like,
when they
getting
to be
fucked.
fair, most of the movie was night.
Yeah.
Well, those scenes
at
the beginning were in
day.
Even at the very beginning with the show... Which, by the way, the show was like, all right, we're throwing darts at her. All right, her tits are out.
Dude,
show's over.
That set looked like it was a garage filled with tubs.
Yeah.
So that was probably hot as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the bar/strip
No,
club?
No, it's at the very beginning of the show.
Oh, you mean
When she's
the
strapped to that
circus
thing.
show
Yeah.
when she's strapped to the thing because Ronnie finds out she's cheating on. See, I forgot about all this. When Ronnie finds out that Savannah is cheating on him with Cash, and
Yeah, that's Cash.
Oh, right.
he's a private detective or something.
I don't think he's a private detective.
He's dressed like a private detective,
I
and they
thought
have
this
this
movie-
weird mid-Atlantic accent.
Like, very Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah.
With, like, between Cash and Savannah and Ronnie, where I was like, is this taking place in the 50s?
It would have been cool if it were a period piece, right? Like, I would excuse a lot of it if it were a period piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was at the very beginning. It's like, is this like the 30s or the 20s? What's
Like,
going on?
What's with the weird accents? Like,
Everyone's like, hey there, bud. It's me, Ronnie. You trying to take my money?
and
Then it kind of goes away after that scene, though.
it's.
To be fair, Savannah and Ronnie were never like. Well, there's the whole. Anyway.
I don't know. I felt like it just never went away. I felt like it was always just subtly there, like
But only them.
the stench of it.
The
Yeah,
rest
only
of
them.
only between Ronnie and Cash and Savannah did they have that weird mid-Atlantic clown accent.
Clown accent. It is a clown accent. It's just clowns use this accent. It's trash.
Like the witch didn't talk like that.
Yeah, the witch was very normal.
Listen, it's a traveling circus, right? You know, they get people from all over the U.S., right?
I think I would have preferred some different regional accents from the U.S. Like, they're in Mississippi, maybe there's a southern clown or something. It's all just
Clown.
By the way, we
clown
never saw Rodeo Clown.
mid-Atlantic. What?
We never saw Rodeo Clown.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's all every clown is kind of the same clown.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
got the same clown get up.
Where's the
Satchel's got a tiny little hat.
tiny little cute top hat? And that's about it.
Glasses clown has glasses.
Glasses clown has glasses. There's not a whole bunch of diversity in the clown posse.
I don't know. I feel like just the fact that there's like a lady clown, you're like, cool.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, they probably want to keep her around because she takes her tits out. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's another thing is I'm not when she tore the skin and or spine off of the pedo which we then find out is the dad of Rachel. I think she uses her teeth.
Yeah, it becomes like Dante's Inferno. You ever play that game?
Yeah.
I've seen footage.
Yeah, with what's her name? Anyway,
The big monster.
the titty maws.
The
right?
titty maw, yes.
And she's like, look at my titties, and then they're like teeth, and, it's
And then
like,
teeth
gotcha.
and, yeah, just viscera and gore and horror.
You're like, cool.
Yeah, I don't know. There was some very, like, in all gory horror films or zombie film genres, it's obviously exploitative of, like, sex, the sex appeal and trying to sell sex. So, that was kind of a turnoff for me. I'm like, yeah, this is a bit like, I don't know. I think the intent was to be over the top because of, they spend, like, what feels like 30 minutes on the over
Just like
gratification of viscera and
just
destroying
like
it.
mushing their hands around in the entrails and just doing that for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, every single time they get a chance to mush some entrails, they do that, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Which, I mean,
Christ.
a lot of it would look pretty good, but then when you look at it for like 5 minutes, it's like, it's not that good now. I would say that if you want to watch Clownado with a bunch of friends, like, don't.
I mean,
I would say do.
there may be some awkward boners, but do it. You know?
Awkward.
Listen.
Awkward, he says.
Did you see Satchel's tiny hat?
I did see Satchel's tiny hat. He said as he was getting a beer, being unprofessional.
Being very unprofessional.
Well, listen, you guys could riff and banter,
Listen,
but
we
you
talked
don't.
about the tiny hat.
Listen, we've talked about all we can talk about Clownado. There's nothing else to talk about.
Also, not a lot to talk about with it, really.
Yeah, it's pretty cut and dry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's about kids fighting their bullies, overcoming their fears through the method of an elder clown.
You know what? This would be a perfect time for an ad break. Brought to you by our sponsor.
Man, that was amazing.
Wasn't that just a quality product?
I love wax.
I love wax.
All right.
I mean, I don't know who the sponsor was this week, but man, do I love wax.
Wax, you know.
Also, why are you opening that into the mic?
It's not into the mic.
It's basically into the mic.
I was holding on.
Wow, okay.
You were holding off. You should have done it when we were... Whatever. Listen.
Don't lecture me after you just did it.
So...
Is there anything else to talk about?
Not really. This second episode is gonna probably be shorter.
So what do you think the It is?
Oh yeah, that's great, because Mike hasn't seen...
He hasn't read the book.
I mean, we spoiled it, basically.
I mean, not really.
Okay.
An alien.
And
Yeah.
it is an alien, yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's like an elder god, but he feeds on fear.
Yep.
He fell from space at some point.
Via meteor.
Before, like, the colonists even arrived.
Oh, so it's like the Oxus from Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yes, but no.
Because
more
it's...
clown.
Anyway.
It's like Deoxys and Mr. Mime.
It's like Mr. Mime and Deoxys had
And
baby.
Drowsy.
And Drowsy. They had this... Yeah.
Yeah, imagine that.
Imagine that.
I was okay with that until the Drowsy got brought up. I was like, ooh.
Also, he's a bug type because he's a giant space spider.
Yeah, he's a space spider. Arachnid.
Well, I mean, in Chapter 2, he's like lights.
So, turns out, even the spider is like just a...
Like a...
Avatar.
He's
Yeah.
actually three lights.
Dude, that was weird how we both had that Avatar, like, mind sync
I mean,
moment.
I get what you mean.
Yeah. The turns out the alien is just three lights that you stare
It's like
into.
Silver Chariot Requiem. He's just the light and you're seeing the shadows.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was a JoJo reference.
Is that a fucking JoJo reference?
Oh, shit, that's a motherfucking JoJo reference.
Listen, this...
Yeah, he's a bunch of lights to get him in. They try to get him in the jar, it doesn't work, but then they're like, they go through the exact same lesson that they went through in this movie where it's like, if we work together, we can overcome our fears.
There's more than one way to make something small, to fit him into a jar, to kill him or whatever.
Whoa!
And they basically just talk down to the evil alien eldritch
They just
god.
did the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just, hey, if we work together, we can fight their fears.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then they stab him and he dies.
You know, and that's where, honestly, now in realization, that's why we have to give props to Clownado, because like you said previously, they tried something different. Even though the CGI of the tornado, hurricane, storm portion was hideous, even though the composition of every single shot, of every single conversation in that movie made me dizzy and or car sick,
Also, whenever
they tried something new.
Yeah, they tried something new. Also, just to kind of go off of that, whenever there's a lightning effect in the sky, it's upside down, so the lightning bolts go upwards towards the sky.
Yeah, I always found that weird. It was like upside down and sideways sometimes as well. I think they were just reusing stock footage, and so that basically to make it look like it was unique every time, they just kind of switched it around. Nothing wrong with using stock footage. It just, I felt like...
A little overuse.
Yeah, there was too much being used. Like everything in Clownado, it was too much. There was just... There were just like... It's like if you looked at all the knobs for everything that was featured in...
If Clownado was a 10-minute YouTube sketch...
Yeah.
It'd be perfect.
It'd be... I would even say if it were 30 minutes long.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know?
I was about to say, but if it's like 30 minutes long, that'd be perfect.
It would be perfect. Because, like I was saying, it's like, if you looked at all the knobs and dials for Clownado...
It's all up at 11.
It's all up at 11. It's like, could we just turn, like, most of these down to 5, and then the rest of them could be, like, at a 7 or an 8?
I would say they're all at 10, not 11 quite.
For
the gore, I will say that's an 11, but, like, a lot of the other stuff, I would say at a 10.
Ronnie's clown gig...
Get 13.
That was like at least an 11. So you gotta turn it down.
Okay, yeah. No.
Like,
the amount of titties on screen, while appreciated,
just
down
a bit. Down like, 3 or 4, turns.
Sure, right.
Right? Like just,
or at least, like, throw some dicks in there to, like, even the scale.
Something. Honestly, the cussing even felt out of place. Like,
Asshole.
It part 1 had cussing, and it was also children using the fucking cuss words, right? But it just didn't. It felt
like kids.
It felt good, like it felt natural. In Clownado, it felt just so jarring.
They say
big
asshole
cuss.
like 7 or 8 times in the first, I want to say 10 minutes in the movie.
Yeah.
Name's not Flo, bitch.
Yeah, I still don't. I'm sure we missed it because there were a lot of times where people just walked around.
Is there a director's commentary on it?
On it or Clownado?
On Clownado.
I would love to look for one.
If there is, we're going to cut that. We're going to watch that. And then we're going to come back to this.
You know, director's commentary lasts the entire length of the movie.
So we'd have to watch Clownado again.
Listen, all we have to do is just get to that flow part, and then we just cut it in right
It's
here.
You're assuming it exists.
It doesn't make it not exist.
Listen, if it doesn't exist, then nothing happens right now.
You
And I just go like,
You motherfuckers don't edit this shit.
well,
Boy, that was great.
I hate you so.
listen, hold on. First off, you started the recording like 5 minutes early, and I stopped it for you, and you still kept going with it.
Listen.
I'm trying to make it easy on you, but you're nah.
What are we watching next?
What are we watching next?
Hold on, wait. Clownado, final
thoughts.
Yeah.
Oh. I've seen worse. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen. I see what they were going for. I see the enthusiasm they put into it. Just like a little less.
A little less. Same.
Not less enthusiasm, but like a little less on like some of the beats you're hitting.
Yeah, I agree with basically every sentiment you just expressed.
Shorten the movie.
Shorten it.
Cut out some of the stock footage.
Don't try to be a revolutionary, you know.
I
Don't try and reinvent the new.
I don't think they're trying to.
Well, no. Like, with a lot of the spinning, like, zooming shots and the angles, it's like they're trying to be artsy about it. Like, just film a conversation, you know? Like, take some time to composition. Like,
do
come
the
on.
spinning shot, but less.
Way less. Way
It
less.
doesn't need to be every cut.
Yeah.
But other than that, you know, not. I'm sure not the worst movie I'm going to see.
Oh, no, it's not.
No, bud.
Just you wait.
I just added Food Fight to the list.
Oh.
Anyway.
Well, thank you.
Well, Mike, what are your thoughts?
What are your thoughts on it? Yeah.
I have no thoughts.
You have no thoughts?
I don't care about
What
this
are-
movie at all.
What are your final thoughts on it?
Yeah.
It was pretty good. I honestly expected to like not care about it at all, but pretty good.
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad.
I thought there'd be a lot more jump scares, but no, there wasn't.
There were quite a few jump scares, but not as many as modern horror.
Listen, you watch any other horror movie, and it's like
Jump
bam,
scare.
bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, that's
And it's like,
fair.
oh, that was a fault. Nope, we got you.
Yeah, that's.
It's like, okay, come on.
You got me.
Yeah.
Speaking about movies that got me, rather. The next episode that you'll be looking forward to is Nemesis and Ghost in the Shell.
The animated version.
The animated movie Ghost in the Shell. And Nemesis is a cyborg buddy cop movie made in 1992.
Was it a buddy cop movie?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Listen, it was.
Listen,
Both are available. Well,
Both. One is free on YouTube. And
Ghost in the Shell is free on YouTube as of the recording of this audio.
Yep, and Nemesis is
On Amazon Prime.
Is free with Prime.
So yeah, those were the two movies. Which one was bad? Which one was good? You decide.
It Chapter 2 was bad.
Truly the worst of all three.
Bye. And where's my mouse at? There it is.
It's on the other screen.
And we're just gonna record. I'm gonna take a piss. If you guys wanna.
Well, I was thinking, right? When we start,
Okay.
be like, yeah, okay, this is
episode 2.
This is whatever, right?
Right.
And be like, we watched this movie and this movie. If you haven't seen these movies yet, pause this, go watch those.
Yeah.
Or if you don't want to, that's fine.
What? No.
No, that's good. That's a good intro. Yeah, we need to be more succinct with the intro. We're just be like, we just watched these 2 movies. They're on these platforms. Go watch them. Come back.
Or don't.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, why'd you start recording right now?
Because I can edit this.
Speaking
Because
of-
I'm not a lazy piece of shit. I'll edit it.
Speaking of Elvis here, what do we pair with cats?
Dogs versus cats.
No. So
Yes, no.
So actually, we could do Aristocats.
Could do like
I gotta piss.
I don't know, like High School Musical or something like that.
What? No.
It could be any musical type.
No.
Yeah.
It could literally be whatever we want, and we should make it cat themed. Aristocats is cat themed and is a musical.
That's true.
All right. I'm drinking this, but before I do, I want water.
Catwoman.
And I also no. And I also need to take a piss. Perfect.
Well, if you're gonna drink stuff on the podcast, I'm gonna get my soda.
Yeah, that's fine. You can drink stuff, just don't sip it loudly. Yeah, don't do that.
I like how we all got ready to do this, and we're all like, all right, well, we got a couple minutes before we're ready to do this. Also, it's still just going. I'm going to pause it.
Don't cancel. Well, I guess you can cancel. Doesn't matter.
Unfortunately.
Alright, he's going to start from right there.
That's, yeah. So,
YouTubers are not people you should look up to.
yeah, YouTubers aren't people you should look up to. That's the tagline of this episode.
Well, I mean, there are some people that do real good with what they have, right?
Right. They're people who,
Also, am I loud enough? Does it look like I'm loud enough?
I mean,
I could be closer.
yeah, you could.
Hey, what's up?
There we go. We'll do that. There.
Maybe listen to the audio first before we, keep going.
No.
Needs boosted.
Yeah, I guess.
Just boost all the audio across the board.
Yep.
Listen, it's
That is something interesting.
yeah, it's not
London Dry, yeah, it's
not great.
it's fine.
I'd have to say the other two are better.
Okay. One movie too many. That's what it is.
Okay.
That was, don't know him for
What are
that.
you doing? Stop. I don't need to